All right, Maya, we're in Cessnock, classic Aussie town, and we're going to meet Barry, who's been looking after Gary, and Timothy, who's wants to do a radio interview with us. So it's going to be a big night. All right, here they are, Barry and Timothy. How are you guys?
Hey, how are we doing?
Yeah, this is Maya.
Hello, Maya. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Maya, hop in.
You've had a long journey.
Yeah, hop in, Maya. Here, Maya, you stay up there, darling. And Gary, how are you, mate? You all right? Yeah, good to see you again, mate. And let's see his foot. Yeah, it's got, so it's, Barry, it's swelled up, hey? Another abscess has come up.
Yeah, so you look inside here.
Yep.
It's soft and squishy.
Yeah.
Like this is painful for him.
Yeah.
And see there? Like
Yeah.
you can actually see me
Yeah.
pushing it in.
Yeah.
But the skin's quite tight.
Yeah, right. But he's eating and everything, so it's, yeah.
He's put on some form again. He's
Yeah.
happy. Up until 3 days ago, he was like running around,
Yep.
playing games with the girls. That's one of the reasons why when the swelling first started, I was hoping it might have just been like arthritic swelling.
Yeah.
So because he's using his foot when it's been sore,
Yeah.
it swells a little bit to protect him. But
So in a nutshell, basically, it was looking on track to not having the amputation.
no, it was bang on. We weren't going to have the amputation.
Yep.
The X-ray was booked just like
Yep.
we were going to do at the end
Yeah.
of the at
Yeah.
the end of the antibiotics to tell the difference.
Yep.
And make a decision then on whether he'd lost too much bone.
Yep.
But then the swelling started to come back.
Yeah. Right. So we've kind of gone 2 steps forwards and 3 back at the moment, but that's nature, and hopefully tomorrow we'll basically we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I've got Timothy here from the ABC. Who's, thanks for coming up, mate. You've come a long way.
Documenting a very important event.
Yeah, it's
Important juncture for you and for Gary.
yeah. It's
Hope he does all right.
yeah. So that's it.
He's a tough bugger.
Yeah. So basically, like, we're telling it to you straight here. We're not editing this up and smoothing it over later. Yeah, Maya? Oh, sorry, Maya. Just stay there for a second. You okay? Yeah, that's it, Maya. I tell you what, goats, great training for kids. Anyway, hopefully I can pull this off. Yeah, so Barry, the surgery tomorrow is to see if the bone damage is worse than before.
So we take an X-ray tomorrow.
Yep.
The vet will look at the previous X-ray and see,
Compare.
compare to see if there's been more bone loss.
And if it's the same or worse.
Look, best case scenario is it is just arthritic swelling. I highly doubt that.
Yeah, you think it's infection come
I
back?
think it's infection. Therefore, because the bone's so small, they have to actually take rid of that bone to take out the infection.
Yep. Here, Mike, come here. Come here. Yep, and so, yep, and then obviously ideal conditions for amputating would be no infection, but it's just...
Well, there was an infection there before.
Yeah.
So if they took it off a
Yeah.
couple of months ago,
Yeah,
well, what was it? It's been a month since he's been here, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So if they took it off last month,
yeah,
the infection's still there.
yeah.
So ideally, if we had have been able to, or we predicted that this is what was happening, even if we took it off last week,
Yeah,
the infection would have been less, but it's still there.
yeah,
So I've talked to a couple of different vets about how they could do it, and what they would most likely do. If you look at that, that's the hoof,
yep,
but what we actually see is there.
yep,
So he's got a knuckle above his hairline,
yeah,
and it comes up and it joins together here. So what will most likely happen is they will just cut it off in a scarf cut like that.
yep,
Therefore, his infection's here.
yep,
That should
yeah.
all be clean bone.
yeah,
And it's up to the vet to decide whether he'll close that wound or leave it and pack it and,
Yep.
and let it heal over itself.
yep. And also, the anaesthetic and sedation is a risk with goats, but
It's a risk with every animal.
with yep, especially goats.
Goats are
But
very susceptible.
but the main thing is Barry. I mean, he's just looking really good. Like, I could tell he's a happy goat,
Yeah.
and he's eaten, which is, any animal lover knows that's the main sign, especially with goats.
Well, with goats, they've got to make sure they're pooping.
Yep.
They can be eaten, but they've got to be eaten. And
Yeah,
pooped.
it's continual through flow with goats.
So he's on pain meds. He still gets up and runs around, but now it's swollen. He hobbles.
Yeah,
He's on pellets and hay, and he's got like access to mineral blocks.
yeah,
So from when I got him, because he was a little down, a little quiet, and that he's picked up in character. He's picked up in spirit.
well, he feels comfortable here. 3 goats and a genuine goat freak. I thought I was a goat freak until I met Barry. And
I'm a goat man. You're a goat lover.
yeah, that's right. There's a difference. Barry doesn't go to the extent that I went with Barbara, but hey, it's all platonic, and that's just what Gary needs at the moment. So it's basically a big day. Worst case scenario, we actually lose Gary tomorrow. I'm just stating like the obvious. And best case, it just comes off. We've gone down all the other alternate tracks.
Yeah.
And I sent in what...
That's the thing, you say alternate, and everyone thinks we're talking about like hippie medicine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not. It's an alternate option.
Yeah.
You know, it's vet approved. It's proper medicine. It's not actually alternate medicine.
That's what's triggered everyone, alternate, because they all throw in that quote, alternate medicine that's been proven to work is called medicine. But, you know, when you come up with the bucks...
But it's not even that. Like, the Tough Rock. Yeah, the Tough Rock's not Animal Lintex, which Animal Lintex is the vet approved.
And the Tough Rock didn't even say it was... They didn't even promise it was going to do it. But they just said to bring out an abscess.
It did what it did.
Yep.
And it did exactly what the Lintex does.
Yep.
If we had have left any form of poultice on this whilst I was giving him his antibiotics, it'd just make the abscess brew.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't. It's not like there's a whole heap of little men pushing all the pus to the surface.
No.
It increases the amount of pus, so it ruptures.
Yeah.
So the Tough Rock did exactly what it did. Brought the abscess out, kept the wound clean while it healed, so I could change the bandage every couple of days.
Yeah.
And then we stopped using it.
And
It had done its job.
And the thing about alternate medicine, I mean, we all die. Medicine hasn't cured death. Like, you know,
but it's not alternate medicine.
No, I know.
Everything we've used is actual.
Yeah. So guys, just relax out there. I mean, shit happens, and we're giving it a go. Hey, basically, if my little girl here, you know, just went in, they just said chop it off. I'd look into everything before we do that.
Everyone does. That's what second opinions for.
Yeah.
But up until 3 days ago, he was keeping it.
Yeah. Well.
That's
you know,
we're
just keeping it live here, and you've just kept him psychologically tip-top, which is so important for a goat, and just fully appreciate that, Barry. And
he's a bloody bugger. He started trying to boss me around.
Well,
he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. His personality's coming out. And Gary, you're a bit like me. Sometimes you can outstay your welcome. But I really appreciate you. When I left you with him, I just met you for a day. You said he's probably not going to want to leave here, and I thought, well, that's probably the best problem I could have, leaving him at someone's house. And
well, that's right. Like, you know, and he'll probably need a bit of rest after his surgery.
Yeah.
He's more than welcome to stay. He can come back on holiday. You know, the girls like him.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of a bicker sometimes, but they're basically brother and sister now.
Yeah, that's good. And I suppose just like it's just psychologically going in under anaesthetic. Gary, we're all here with you, so you're going to go under knowing that we're supporting you. There's going to be no unconscious abandonment issues in there when he's under. It just goes, oh fuck it, I'm here. Sorry, Mike. You're probably going to pick up a few new words around me. Hey. Oh, nice headbutt. Hey. Anyway, yeah. Well, cheers. And Timothy, you got any questions at all? Like, no. What's it from your end? You're on the ABC doing podcast, the real thing, isn't it?
That's right.
And I mean, I'm kind of spun out that people are still following the story after all these years, but.
No, well, you know, let's see what happens next for Gary.
Yeah.
And what happens next for you, Jimbo.
Yeah.
For the pair of you.
Yeah. Well, we've all just got one life, and we all die. We're all in the queue, hey. So you just got to keep giving it a crack. So cheers, guys. Oh, look at that. That's the handshake of love.
Handshake.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, going to be a big day, Gary. 12 o'clock. By the time you get this video, I'll probably put it up in the morning. But like I said, we're just giving it to you live. Telling you what happens. Hey, more. Mate, you say rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
All right. This is where my and I crashed out. Barry's just doing a bit of renovating at the moment. I'll be back in a tick, mate. We're just going to give Gary his early morning meds. This is fucking Barry's back room, man. This is a man who loves goats. Hey Gary. Look at him, he knows this is how Barry's been applying the drugs every morning. Which is it's a massive one-man job. Yeah, just forcing drugs down him.
See, these tablets are big enough for him to throw back up.
Yep.
So I get his mouth open with his head right back. I just drop it right down the back of his tongue, like basically over the top of his mouth.
Yep.
And see, because goats chew their cud, they can actually throw up.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if I put it on the front of his tongue, he'll sit there and he'll go, num, 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 and drop it out.
Yeah.
Like, he's a smart bugger.
Mate, how many people would know that if you gave your goat to someone? And look at this.
Ready? Because it's 8 mil and it comes out of the fridge,
Yep.
I'll give him 4 and then I'll like hit him again and give him the rest of it.
Yep.
But every time you do it, you've got to draw the needle back to make sure it's not in an artery.
Yep.
Or even a vein, because penicillin's toxic that way.
And doing that one-handed, that's a skill, man.
Nah.
A few smackies out there going, no, it's easy, mate. Practice. Oh, yeah. Into the water. Morning slug.
Like, because he's bigger than my girl, he will actually drain that bowl. He will suck that dry and wait for it to fill up again.
They're like camels, aren't they? They'll just...
Well, they don't normally... They normally get their moisture out of all the green leaves they eat.
Yep.
Just clean them up a bit.
Here's the foot, which is I'm just going to chop this outside hoof off, and yeah, hopefully get you on a trajectory that's not going to go backwards at all from here. Yeah, you're looking good, mate. Just get there. So like you say, we were up until a week ago, it was looking pretty good. He was still going to have a bit of a hobble, but we thought we got to a stage which was better than having an amputation, and then just suddenly 3 steps backwards, the infection has just boiled up, which could have been resistance to the antibiotics, or it's just shit happens, really. Anyway, Gary.
Heck, worst case scenario, he could have broken his toe because of the bone was weak.
Yep.
You know, actually that could be almost a best case scenario. That's what that is. It's just a break and swelling rather than infection.
Yeah, like, you know, we don't know what this vet's going to do with find out with the x-rays.
That's what the x-ray for. Like, if it is broken, it means the bone's too weak, the toe's got to come off.
Yep.
If it's an infection and it's eaten too much of the bone's too weak and the toe's got to come off.
Yep.
But until a week ago, he was running around. He jumped the front fence when I took my goats for a walk.
Yeah, and that's a big fence.
Like, well, I had to raise it, but
Yeah.
before I extended that height, he jumped it, like, both feet over, landed fine, and came running after us.
Yep.
You know, like, he's a strong boy.
Hey, girls.
See, up until like 3 days ago, that
Yep.
foot was still down on the ground.
Yeah, that's just reverted.
Now it's like, yeah, back to when you first brought him here. You know?
Yeah, just before the abscess break.
Yeah.
Gary, in good hands, mate. We've still got another option, which we haven't used, chopping it off.